Hey, Margie here. Welcome to the Wake Up, Pray Up, Boss Up podcast, the show that helps Christian moms prioritize their physical and mental health so they can boldly step into God's calling. I'm your host, Margie Ruiz.
The CDC tells us that the average American woman lives to 81 years old. My mom's 85, which means every extra year with her has been a gift. Every holiday, every family gathering, every graduation, every memory. But today, I'm going to do a little show and tell with you. So if you're just listening, I want you to visualize what I'm doing. But I have a measuring tape, okay? So I'm going to scroll the measuring tape to 81, which is what the CDC says is average lifespan. And I am going to cut the tape right there. Okay? So here is the rest, the average American life, okay? So I happen to be 53 years old. So I'm going to cut that. Is it wrong to say that on my podcast? Just keeping it real. Okay, so if you can imagine, I have 1 through 53 here, and I have 53 through 81 here. That is potentially what I have left. Now, none of us know exactly how much tape God has given us. But I do know this. I want the years I have left to be healthy enough to fulfill the calling God has placed in my life. And that's what this episode is all about. Hey, Margie here. Welcome to the Wake Up, Pray Up, Boss Up podcast. Today, I'm kicking off a brand new series that has been in my heart for a long time. Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to talk about physical health. But before you click away, because you think this is just another weight loss series, it isn't. This is a stewardship series. This is a calling series. Because I believe with my whole heart that you cannot fully step into God's calling when your body, mind, and spirit are running on empty. And friend, I need this message as much as anyone. This year has been one of the hardest seasons of my life. And I've had to go back and practice what I've been teaching for years, prioritizing my physical health, my mental health, and my spiritual health. Because when life gets hard, your health matters even more. And I'm going to be super transparent. I asked my assistant, Nancy, to repost old episodes for me right now so I could take some time off. She challenged me. She said, "You can take some time off, Margie, after you do 8 episodes for me." Thank you, Nancy. So I gave it a lot of thought. What has carried me through this past year? And honestly, it's been my focus on my health, my physical, mental, and spiritual health. It's not perfectly, but intentionally. As I was preparing for this episode, I learned something fascinating. See, most of us focus on lifespan, right? So lifespan is simply how long you live. And like I said, for the average American woman, that's 81 years. That's kind of scary, right? But researchers are now talking more about something called health span. Health span is how long you stay healthy enough to enjoy your life, to travel, to serve, to play with your grandchildren, to say yes when God calls. And that hit me hard because the goal isn't simply to live longer, to have more tape, right? The goal is to add life to your years. Because 2 women can be the same age. You see this every day. One woman is traveling, walking, playing, living with energy and purpose. The other one struggles with mobility, fatigue, chronic disease, and daily limitations. Same chronological age, very different biological age. Chronological age tells us how many years we've been alive. Biological age tells us how well our bodies are functioning. And friend, that matters. Because God still has work for us to do. People to love, lives to impact, a calling to fulfill. I'm going to be honest, watching my parents age has taught me something really powerful. My dad, who I miss every day, before he passed away, he could barely walk. I've shared this before. I remember he once told me, if I have one regret in life, it was not taking care of my physical health. And hearing that for him was sobering. It really stayed with me years later. And recently, we celebrated my daughter's university graduation. It was amazing. Family got together, we celebrated, and I'm really blessed that my mom was able to join us. But it was a challenge. We rented this 13-passenger van to get everyone around. It was tall, right? It was high. And my nephew and son were lifting her up to load her every time we had to go somewhere until they left. And then it was just the girls trying to figure it out. And honestly, at the time, it was kind of funny, but we could not get her in the van. It became this whole family production, everyone helping, everyone trying to figure out the best way. And we laughed for hours. But later, I found myself thinking about something deeper. Health matters. Not because we're trying to look a certain way, not because we're chasing a number on a scale, because our health impacts how we experience the life God gives us. I don't just want more years. I want strong years, healthy years, years where I can travel, serve, walk, play with my future grandchildren, and fully step into whatever God is calling me to do. Now, before anyone thinks this is just a health conversation, let's talk about what God says. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, Paul writes, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies." Friend, your body is not an accessory to your calling. It is part of your calling. It is a vehicle. The body that carries you to church, the body that hugs your children, the body that serves others, the body that fulfills God's purpose for your life. That's the body we're talking about stewarding. Not worshiping, stewarding. There's a difference. Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to walk through what I believe are the most important foundations of health. Not from a place of guilt, not from a place of shame, but from a place of stewardship. We're going to talk about breathing and stress, because you can only survive a few minutes without oxygen. Healing from the inside out through detox and gut health, because it doesn't matter how healthy your food is if your body cannot absorb the nutrients. Week 3, we're going to talk about sleep and recovery, because rest isn't lazy, it's necessary. Week 4, hydration, one of the most overlooked health habits. 5, nutrition, learning how to fuel your body instead of fighting it. 6, filling the gaps, why healthy women still need support. Sometimes you just can't get it all from food. Next, we're going to talk about personalized health and DNA, because God made you unique and your health plan should reflect that. And there's so many advances nowadays to help you do that. Next, we're going to talk about movement, and I'll share how walking, movement, and exercise really helped carry me through one of the hardest seasons of my life. Because most women spend their time focused on weight loss. I want us to focus on health, real health, the kind that gives you energy, freedom, strength, and the ability to say yes when God calls. Friend, I don't believe God is asking us to pursue perfection. I believe He's asking us to pursue stewardship, to take care of the body He entrusted to us, to honor the gift we've been given, and to prepare ourselves to live fully into the purpose He created for us. Friend, I don't know how much tape you have left, and neither do you, but I do know this. The best time to start taking care of your health was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. So here are today's 3 clicks to help you do that. Click number 1, wake up. Let's take an honest look at your health. Not with shame, not with judgment, with awareness. If nothing changes, where would your health be in 5 years from now? 10 years from now? What is one area that needs your attention today? Awareness is always the first step. Click number 2, pray up. Ask God the simple question, Lord, how can I better steward the body you've entrusted to me? Not somebody else's body, not the body you had at 20, the body He's giving you today. Invite Him into the process, because your health journey is a spiritual journey too. And click number 3, boss up. Choose one action this week, just one. Take the walk, take the stairs, drink the water, go to bed earlier, schedule the appointment. Make the healthier choice. Small actions repeated consistently create massive change over time. We may not know how much tape, but we do get to decide how we steward this piece that is still in our hands. Remember, the goal isn't simply to add years to your life. The goal is to add life to your years, because God still has work for us to do. And I want to be healthy enough to say yes. I don't know about you, but I want to finish the race strong. I want to get to heaven and be like, whoo, what a ride. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I make sure you're back next week, because we're starting with the foundation of it all, breathing. You might be surprised how something you've done your entire life impacts your stress, your energy, your health, and even your relationship with God. Until next time, remember to wake up, pray up, and boss up every day. God bless. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, shout it from the rooftops, leave a rating and a review, all the things. And to catch the latest from me, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at margie.gp6 or go to my website at margieruiz.com and make sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Bye.